Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. This is another paid request. This time for Edward. Edward, thank you so much for being so generous. I really appreciate it, man. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos or topics, reactions, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for South Park Season 16, Episodes 11 and 12. Which they were fun to watch, I will say. They were fun episodes, definitely some of the better ones of the season. Episode 11 was definitely fun because it's a Butters episode. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Butters has become my favorite character on the show. Always nice to see him at the forefront. And in this case, it's a little bit inspired by the Star Trek episode Amok Time, where Spock starts acting way different, much more angrier. And of course, you realize it's the Pon Far, and he's got to do this ritual at his home. In this case, Butters is yelling at Kyle, yelling at everybody. He's yelling at Kyle, saying, why you act like you're the freaking expert? And Stan, you act like the whole world revolves around you. And you, Cartman, you always try to get the last word. It's pissing me off. Tenny is the only one of you that has dignity. It was great to see Butters stand up for himself. I actually would love to have seen even more of it, of him talking shit to these other kids who always gave him so much shit. It was great to see Butters finally stick it to them. I wanted to even see more of that. And I thought it was actually kind of nice and sweet that Kenny was the one that he likes the most. And ultimately, his parents admit that he actually comes from Hawaii, and he needs to go back to Hawaii and have the ceremony. And one thing leads to another, and Kenny goes along. So that's another interesting bit where it's Butters and Kenny. Very rare, random pair. Can't really think many moments where Butters and Kenny really interacted with each other. So, because that was so different, that made it feel more refreshing. They're on the Hawaii island, and this ceremony is trying to get started, and they want Butters to unleash some of his anger. So he's hitting these golf balls, and meanwhile, there's problems where this one, I mean, this plot point wasn't the best. If there's a detriment to the episode, it's the Hawaiians get pissed at the rest of America and the outsiders that their discount card gets taken off and they can't use it anymore, and they start shooting and hitting golf balls to a cruise ship. And I do like that the people are like, what the hell's going on? They don't really think anything of it. But then Butters hits the sweet spot, fucks up one of the commanders of the ship, and this very funny lawn shot where Butters and Kenny are here, and way in the back is the ship. People screaming, the ship kind of moving back and forth and slowly sinking. And the fact that it doesn't cut and Butters and Kenny doesn't say anything, they just watch, and you just this distant shot of the people screaming, people jumping off, and breaks up like the Titanic. Just how long that shot stays there, like it made it funnier as it went along. I thought that was the best scene in the episode. And let's say it was nice to see Butters stand up for himself. It was nice to see Kenny kind of, I don't know if I say he stuck up for Butters, but you'll seem pretty easygoing with him. There's a bit that he's typing and writing back to the guys in South Park. I like the voices they picked out. It's a very much adult, deeper voice for Kenny. But of course, it's Kenny because he says, I also saw this girl and she had the nicest boobs. Because of all the kids, he's the one that actually knows about that type of stuff. I was also pleasantly surprised they did not kill off Kenny. I just assumed, oh, here he goes. He's supposed to do this ritual because he's an outsider. This is when he's going to die. Oh, he's on the water. He's going to go down this waterfall. He's going to die. No, he doesn't. He goes to this place. He finds the ghost of the king, in this case, Elvis, which all he does is mumble. Able to get supplies to the group. Able to be part of the group. And things work out, and Kenny and Butters go off into the sunset. I thought, okay, this is actually kind of nice. There's some funny parts to it. And again, it does enough little refreshing stuff that if you see the show enough, or you see enough of the episodes, oh wow, okay, they didn't kill Kenny in this. It would be typical if they did. Oh, Butters got to go out with respect. Just a lot of times it's like, okay, well, how are we don't shit on Butters at the end of this? They don't do that. I just figured at the end, okay, somehow like Kenny's immediately going to get killed or Butters is immediately going to get shit on. Nope, that doesn't happen. And in fact, they even say some nice words about Ben Affleck. A guy who, I mean, Team America World Police, they have an entire song about Ben Affleck and how much he sucks. So the fact that Butters, and you tell that these are the writers, the creators, they do this. Is that fair, you know? He's with Jennifer Lopez, and he's a good-looking guy. And fine, Argo is a good movie, okay? Ben has everything. And then someone goes, well, actually, he's married to Jennifer Garner. What? Great, alright, cool. I don't mind Ben Affleck. So, holy shit, finally they gave some props to Ben Affleck. So, a lot of nice surprises in this, I will say. So, it was a fun episode. Like I said, the whole reason why the Hawaii wants to go to war with America seemed kind of just pulled out of your ass. The other kids don't really have much part of the story because they're back in South Park, and like I said, really nothing much is done with them. Since Kenny was so pissed off, I wish he would have went in harder on Cartman because the little fat fuck deserves it. But overall, it was an entertaining episode. And episode 12 was a Halloween episode. I like the idea behind Randy, the dad, owning a Blockbuster Video. And the whole joke is that because it's such a distant memory, because it's so old hat, people look at it as if it was the Overlook Hotel in The Shining. And it's definitely a lot of Shining references in this movie. Randy, the more he's in there and there's no customers, the more he gets pissed, the more he gets psychotic, then he wants to kill his family. He sees ghosts wandering around like Jack Nicholson did, only in this case they want to rent Turner and Hooch. I will say the more I watched, the more the joke got more depressing than funny. Number one, because I worked at a video store, and so I get the joke, it's funny because streaming is the case, and in fact the kids are watching movies on their iPad, which is the truth of the matter. But it is, like, it was so true, it was actually more depressing, because I worked at a video store. There were many times on those last couple months where it was as dead as this store was. Like, it was as dead, and there'd be times where you'd have maybe 5, 10 customers an entire night. I mean, maybe 20 customers in one night. In the last hour, like, nobody would come in, so you just cleaned up, checked movies in, and there are times where I would get done, and there's like an hour left, and there's just literally nothing to do but just wait and watch a movie. So, not bad to get paid for that, but you also know in the back of your head, this is nice, but that means this story ain't gonna last, which was the sad case. So It just I love video stores. I love video stores. I'm like Randy in that case, and I hate saying that because I hate the character Randy. But it's like, yeah, I love. I never went into Blockbuster Video. I didn't work for Blockbuster Video. I worked for. It was a store called Mr. Movies, and actually, I was never a fan of the Blockbuster Video. I like more of the mom and pop stores, but I still like video stores. I still miss video stores. But at the same time, I also looked at the reality where if you try to open one, it's not going to work because, yeah, the novelty is fun, but at the same time, let's face it, you're at your home, everyone has a computer, you don't type three buttons and just watch it there. Legally or illegally or however you want to do it, so just how it is. If video killed the radio star, internet killed the video star. You know, if video killed radio, internet killed video. That's just the truth of the matter. But I mean, it was still, it was still a funny joke. I do like that they reference The Shining. Granted, it's not as good as The Simpsons, The Shining, which actually that review will be coming soon. Thank you, Ryan. Because he wanted me to review that episode of Treehouse of Horror. But granted, that episode I found much more funny and much more entertaining of a parody of The Shining. I actually like the other subplot a bit more, where the kids want to go trick or treating and they're dressed as the Avengers, but Stan is not allowed because Randy wants him and the family there. So they used an iPad and his face, so they're trick or treating with his iPad and his face on it. And for some reason, I guess because they're that got the Avengers costumes, they just assume they're superheroes. So there's these robbers and they try to attack. But then I like that Carmen says, "Oh shit, there's more than one. I gotta get the fuck out of here." And it's also interesting that they are the red box killers, that they try to steal red box and they realize there's only coins and not much money in there. And so they're trying to get the kids, and the kids. Well, there's bits like they get Stan, but it's his iPad or his friend's iPad. So they make it seem like he's being tortured, but it's scratching the pad. "No, don't do that, don't do that. It's my friend's. It costs him a lot of money to get this." Trying to remember, sorry. Oh, one fun little detail is that when Randy's getting more crazy, he decides to rent movies himself. I do like that the two movies he rents is Director's Cut of Blade Runner and RoboCop 2. So it's nice that one of the films, of all the films to pick, RoboCop 2 is one of them. So that was nice. Great. I don't know if that was just something they got out of the blue, or if there's a certain reason behind it. But in a weird way, for this show, that's shown RoboCop 2 a little bit of love. Or yeah, maybe just something they randomly chose, but still. But the red box kills are taken care of. Randy's going crazy. He gets frozen. Stan gives him an iPad. The episode ends. So, like I said, the video store stuff, I'm not big on Randy. I don't know what other character could have been. Although, to be honest, that could have showcased this plot. The joke kind of ran its course about halfway through. And that's probably around the time where I got more depressed than funny. I like that the kids dressed up as the Avengers. I thought that was cute. Kenny had the Iron Man. That's why he was able to talk, but you don't hear his voice because it's altered like Iron Man's voice. Well, not so much the movies. I mean, you clearly hear Robert Downey Jr.'s voice, but here it's altered. You know, they altered it. I do like the idea of the red box killers. That sounds like a movie that would be on Netflix. The red box killers. The Shiny references, it was fun to see, but like I said, I just thought it was a bit more clever in The Simpsons. Like when Marge is looking at the typewriter and just feeling fine, and then she looks up and Homer actually wrote on all the walls. Like that was a good, solid sequence. So I wouldn't say there's any good, solid bits of the Shiny references. But there's some humorous ones. And yeah, overall, still an entertaining episode. Same with episode 11. So yeah, I do think these are two of the better episodes of the season. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye.